There are words that feel normal on the surface, but when spoken in the right way, they can break down walls in someone's mind. Words that don't sound magical, but make the other person feel a pull they can't explain. A man who knows how to use them doesn't need charm, money, or looks. He only needs timing, tone, and control. Because in psychology, words are never just sounds. They are triggers. They enter through the ear but take root in the brain. They light up emotions that can turn hesitation into desire. But here's the danger. The same words that create attraction can also be twisted for manipulation. When you hear them, you won't even realize what's happening. They slip past logic and work in the shadows. That's why tonight we uncover the truth about the 4 secret words a man can use to make a woman desire him. Stay with me until the end, because each word carries a hidden weight you've never been told about. By the time you finish, you'll see how a few syllables can change how someone feels about you, without them ever knowing why. Why words can bend desire. There is a reason some words can slip under the skin while others fade into the background. Think about it. How many times have you heard a simple phrase that stayed with you for years? Maybe someone once told you, "You make me feel calm," or "I like the way you think." It did not matter who else complimented you before or after. That one phrase echoed. It dug into your memory and replayed itself when you were alone. This is not coincidence. It is psychology. Words are not just sounds. They are patterns. And the human brain is wired to respond to patterns that signal safety, attraction, or reward. When a man uses the right word at the right moment, the woman's brain releases chemicals that create warmth, closeness, even desire. What makes this so powerful is that she cannot always explain why she feels it. She might say, "I just feel drawn to him." In reality, her nervous system has been triggered. Dark psychology studies show that attraction is not only about looks or body language. A single word can tilt the balance of emotion. If she feels doubt, a well-placed word can remove it. If she feels hesitation, the right phrase can dissolve it. And once those emotions shift, logic follows. She may believe she made the choice freely, but her brain was nudged without her noticing. Consider how cult leaders, manipulators, or even skilled salesmen work. They don't overwhelm you with argument. They slip in words that attach to your insecurities, your hopes, or your hidden desires. They make you feel seen. They make you feel like you matter. That is why the words we're about to uncover are so dangerous. They don't sound extraordinary, but they reach deep into the core of what women crave: recognition, safety, connection, and desire. This is where it turns dark, because once you understand how words bend emotions, you also understand how fragile human choice really is. A woman might believe she is protecting herself, setting boundaries, staying in control. Yet one carefully placed word, spoken with the right tone, can lower those walls brick by brick. Now think about it. How often have you replayed a text message in your head, reading the same line over and over, as if it carried more meaning than it should? That is the trap. Words create loops. They stick, and the more you think about them, the more they shape how you feel. Attraction grows in silence, in the spaces between conversations, in the private rewinding of words you cannot ignore. That is the power of verbal triggers. And in the next chapter, we step into the first secret word, a word that builds the foundation for desire by giving a woman something every human is wired to seek. Without it, nothing else works. With it, her defenses start to fall. The first word, safe. If there is one word that can unlock the door to a woman's desire, it is safe. Strange, isn't it? Such a small, ordinary word, yet it carries weight that can bend emotion. Why? Because every instinct inside a woman is wired for survival first, attraction second. Her body is constantly scanning. Am I safe here? Can I trust him? Until that question is answered, her mind resists going further. Now think about it. When a man casually says, "You're safe with me," it is not just a sentence. It is a signal. Her nervous system, always alert to danger, relaxes for a moment. Her shoulders lower. Her breath slows. Something inside whispers, "Maybe I can let my guard down." And when her guard lowers, desire has space to grow. But this word is not only about physical protection. It reaches deeper. Safety means she won't be judged. Safety means her secrets won't be used against her. Safety means she can laugh at something silly, share something dark, or show her softest side without fear of being hurt. That is where attraction begins, not with fireworks, but with the calm sense that this man won't destroy her. Consider this: many women fall for men who make them feel safe even when those men are not the most handsome or successful. A woman might ignore someone perfect on paper, but crave the man who gives her the invisible comfort of security. The paradox is clear: desire grows in the shadow of safety. If she feels safe, her emotions can take risks. If she doesn't, her emotions shut down. There are countless real-life examples. A woman may sit across from a man who brags about power and money. He impresses her, yes, but she feels a distance. Then another man, less flashy, looks her in the eye and says softly, "Don't worry, I've got you." Those 4 words may shift her loyalty instantly. The reason is chemical. Her brain interprets them as protection. Dopamine rises, cortisol drops, trust builds, desire follows. But here's the darker side. When manipulators know this word's power, they use it as a weapon. Abusive men often begin relationships by making women feel intensely safe, promising protection, promising loyalty, only to trap them later. That is why safe is both dangerous and powerful. It is the word that opens the gate, and once the gate is open, everything else can slip inside. Think about the way you feel when someone tells you, "It's okay, you're safe here." For a second, you want to believe it, even if part of you knows better. That pull is not weakness. It is human wiring, and it is the first lever of desire. Now that we've uncovered the first secret word, the question becomes, what follows safety? What makes a woman not only relax, but lean closer? In the next chapter, we'll step into the second secret word, the one that ignites curiosity and keeps her hooked on you even in silence. The second word, different. If safe lowers her guard, then different makes her lean in. Women are surrounded by men who repeat the same lines, act the same way, and follow the same patterns. Predictability kills attraction. But when a man uses the word different, it stirs something deeper. Suddenly, he isn't just another man in the crowd, he becomes the exception. Think of how the word works in a simple sentence: "You're different from anyone I've met." At first glance, it seems harmless. But underneath, it feeds one of the strongest human desires, the need to feel unique. Every woman wants to believe she is not like the rest, that she has qualities no one else sees. When a man names it, when he says different, she feels special. And when she feels special, she starts attaching her emotions to him. But here's the darker psychology. This word doesn't just highlight her uniqueness. It creates a contrast. If she is different, then the man who notices must also be different. He sets himself apart by being the one who truly sees her. That is how attraction grows. A woman doesn't just want a man who looks at her, she wants a man who understands the invisible parts of her. Picture a real-life example. A woman sits with 2 men. One compliments her beauty, "You look amazing." She smiles politely but forgets him by tomorrow. The other man lowers his voice and says, "The way you think about things, it's different." Her heart shifts, not because of flattery, but because he reached for something beyond the surface. That single word separates him from the noise. But here is where it turns dark. Manipulators know that by calling a woman different, they can trigger her need to prove it. She may start giving more, revealing more, just to keep earning that identity. She doesn't realize she is walking into a psychological trap, one that makes her chase his approval. That is why different is not just powerful, but dangerous. It makes her believe she is being chosen when in reality, she is being tested. There is another layer, too. When a man uses this word, it plants curiosity. She starts asking herself, what does he see in me that others don't? What makes me different to him? That question plays in her mind long after he is gone. And the more she wonders, the more her thoughts circle back to him. This is how obsession begins, not with passion, but with unanswered questions. If safe is the word that builds trust, different is the word that sparks curiosity. One soothes her nervous system, the other teases her imagination. And when these 2 words work together, desire becomes stronger than logic. She feels drawn in without fully understanding why. But there are still 2 more words. Words that carry even more power than safety and difference. Words that don't just build attraction but pull her into deeper desire. In the next chapter, we will reveal the third secret word, the one that unlocks her hidden need to be chosen above all others. The third word, chosen. If the first word, safe, calms her fears, and the second word, different, awakens her uniqueness, then the third word, chosen, cuts right into the deepest core of her desire. Every woman wants to feel that, out of all the possibilities, out of all the faces in the crowd, she was picked, not by chance, not by luck, but by intention. This is where the word chosen changes everything. When a man says something like, "I could talk to anyone, but I choose to spend my time with you," it does more than flatter. It sends a hidden message: you are the one who matters most. And here's the psychological trap: being chosen isn't just about attention, it's about value. Humans crave validation, but women in particular carry the pressure of comparison. Am I better than her? Am I more special than the rest? The word chosen answers those doubts. But it gets darker. This word doesn't just make her feel wanted, it creates a silent competition in her mind. If she is chosen, then someone else is not. Suddenly, she begins to see herself in a spotlight, standing above others. And once that image forms, she doesn't want to lose it. She wants to hold on to that position. Which means she becomes more invested in the man who gave it to her. Think of a real scenario. A woman is texting two men. Both are charming, both are consistent. But one says, "You know, I had a dozen chances to go out tonight, but I'd rather spend time with you." That single word, rather, chosen, picked, makes her heart lock in. Not because she was pursued, but because she was selected. It makes the attention feel rare, and rarity always increases value. This is why people get addicted to games, to luxury, to things that feel scarce. When a man uses the word chosen, he turns himself into the prize giver. He makes her fight to keep the spot she believes she earned. It's not just attraction anymore, it's survival of her own identity. But here's where manipulation enters. Toxic men often exploit this word. They tell a woman she is chosen, then withdraw it, making her work harder to earn it back. It's a dangerous cycle. The more she feels she has been picked, the more she fears being unpicked. She doesn't realize she is trapped in a psychological loop where desire and anxiety feed each other. The power of chosen lies in its ability to create belonging. It makes her feel like she is not just an option, but the option. And when a woman feels that deeply, she doesn't just want the man, she needs him. But the story isn't finished. There is still a fourth word, the most powerful of all. A word that doesn't just play with her fears, her uniqueness, or her need to be chosen, but touches something even darker and more primal. In the final chapter, we will reveal the ultimate secret word, the one that has the power to burn desire into her memory like fire. The final word, forever. The first three words, safe, different, and chosen, each work like hidden keys, unlocking pieces of a woman's mind. But there is one word that lingers deeper than all of them, a word that goes beyond comfort, beyond attraction, beyond validation. That word is forever. Why is forever so powerful? Because it whispers of permanence in a world where everything feels temporary. Think about it, most relationships today feel fragile, like they could break at any moment. A woman who desires connection doesn't just want to be liked in the moment, she wants to feel she will not be discarded tomorrow. When a man uses the word forever, he feeds her hidden longing for security that lasts. But here is where psychology turns darker. The word forever doesn't just promise stability, it creates dependency. Once a woman starts to believe that a man sees her as part of his forever, her emotions anchor themselves to him. The attachment becomes harder to cut, even if the relationship is toxic. That is why manipulative men throw this word carelessly, not because they mean it, but because they know how it changes the way a woman feels. Picture this, a man tells a woman, "You'll always have a place with me. You'll be in my life forever." Even if it is just words, her mind starts to build a story around it. She begins to see herself in his future. She begins to feel safe in the idea of not being replaced. And once she feels safe in that belief, she will start giving more of herself, her time, her body, her secrets, because she thinks she has already secured her place. Now, not every use of forever is manipulation. Some men truly mean it, but psychology shows us that even when unintentional, the effect is the same. The brain links that word to trust, belonging, and permanence. It is why breakups hurt so much, because they shatter the illusion of forever that was once promised. Here is where the pattern of the four words becomes clear. Safe lowers her guard. Different makes her curious. Chosen gives her value. And forever chains her to the idea of lasting desire. Together, these four words can pull a woman into emotional depth so strong that walking away feels impossible. The real danger is that once forever enters the conversation, even red flags can become blurred. A woman might ignore lies, betrayal, or neglect, because the promise of forever blinds her to the cracks in reality. She clings to the word, hoping it was true, and the more she holds onto it, the more trapped she becomes in the relationship. So, the final question you must ask yourself is this: if a single word has the power to bind, to addict, and to shape the future of someone's emotions, how careful should one be before using it? Words are not just sounds. They are seeds planted in the mind, and the word forever is one that can grow into a forest, beautiful or destructive, depending on the truth behind it. And that is the hidden power of the four secret word.